ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः। अथ 18 मोक्षसंन्यासयोगः। अर्जुन उवाच सन्न्यासस्य महाबाहो तत्त्वमिच्छामि वेदितुं त्यागस्य च हृषीकेश पृथक् केशिनिषूदन।
Chapter 18, Topic of Freedom and Renunciation. Arjuna said, Hrishikesha, the slayer of Keshi, the mighty armed, I want to know distinctly the truth of sannyasa and tyaga.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha Kamyanam karmanam nyasam sannyasam kavayo viduhu sarva karma phalatyagam prahustyagam vichakshanaha.
Shri Bhagavan said, the wise know sannyasa as renunciation of actions for desired objects. The learned people say renunciation of the results of all actions is tyaga.
Tyajyam doshavadyeke karma prahurmanishinaha yajnadanatapah karma natyajyamiti chapare.
Some wise men say that action which is inherently defective is to be given up, and others say that an action which is a ritual, charity or religious discipline should not be given up.
Nishchayam shrunu me tatra tyage bharata sattama tyago hi purusha vyaghra trividhas samprakirtitaha.
Arjuna, the most mature among the Bharata family, the tiger among men, listen to my ascertained opinion about this renunciation. Renunciation is well stated as threefold.
Yajnadanatapah karma natyajyam karyameva tat yajno danam tapaschaiva pavanani manishinam.
An action that is a ritual, charity or religious discipline is not to be given up, that is indeed to be done. Ritual, charity and religious discipline are indeed purifying for those who are discriminative.
Etānyapi tu karmāni sangam tyaktva phalani ca kartavyānīti me pārtha nishchitam matamuttamam.
Even these actions are to be done, giving up the attachment and giving up the results. This is my clear, proper vision, Partha.
Niyatasya tu sannyasah karmano nopapadyate mohat tasya parityagah tamasah parikirtitah.
Renunciation of enjoined action is not proper. Renunciation of it enjoined action out of delusion is called tamasika.
Dukkamityeva yat karma kaya klesha bhayatyajet sakritva rajasam tyagam naiva tyaga phalam labhet.
One may give up the karma as indeed painful out of fear of affliction to one's physical body. Having done that Rajasika renunciation, one would certainly not gain the result of renunciation.
Karyamityeva yat karma niyatam kriyate arjuna sangam tyaktva phalam chaiva satyagas satviko matah.
It is to be done thinking thus when only the enjoined karma is done, giving up attachment and result Arjuna. It is considered to be a sattvika renunciation.
Nadveshtya kushalam karma kushalenānushajjate tyāgī sattvasamāvishtah medhāvī chinna samshayah.
The renunciate of the results of actions, being the one who is endowed with a pure mind, thereafter being the one who has discriminative knowledge and whose doubts are gone does not despise unpleasant to be done karma, nor does he cling to auspicious karma.
न हि देहभृता शक्यं त्यक्तुं कर्माण्यशेषतः यस्तु कर्मफलत्यागी सत्यागीत्यभिधीयते.
Indeed, actions cannot be given up completely by the one who sustains a body, but the one who is a renunciate of the results of action is called a tyagin.
अनिष्टमिष्टं मिश्रं च त्रिविधं कर्मणः फलं भवत्यत्यागिनां प्रेत्य न तु सन्न्यासिनां क्वचित्.
The threefold result of action, undesirable, desirable, and a mixture, exists after death for the non-renunciates but never for the renunciates.
पञ्चैतानि महाबाहो कारणानि निबोध मे साङ्ख्ये कृतान्ते प्रोक्तानि सिद्धये सर्वकर्मणाम्.
Understand from me, Arjuna, the mighty armed, these 5 causes for the accomplishment of all karmas are told in the Shastra at the end of the Veda, which is the point of culmination of all karma.
अधिष्ठानं तथा कर्ता करणं च पृथग्विधं विविधाश्च पृथक् चेष्टाः दैवं चैवात्र पञ्चमम्.
They are the physical body, the agent, the manifold means, the distinct and diverse activities of the pranas, and indeed, Daiva, the presiding deities, is the 5th here.
शरीरवाङ्मनोभिर्यत् कर्म प्रारभते नरः न्याय्यं वा विपरीतं वा पञ्चैते तस्य हेतवः.
That karma, whether proper or the opposite improper, which a man undertakes with body, speech or mind, has these 5 causes.
तत्रैवं सति कर्तारम् आत्मानं केवलं तु यः पश्यत्यकृतबुद्धित्वात् न स पश्यति दुर्मतिः.
When this is so, the one who sees, on the other hand, the self which is pure as the agent because of an immature mind, that person whose thinking is distorted does not see the truth.
यस्य नाहङ्कृतो भावः बुद्धिर्यस्य न लिप्यते हत्वापि स इमान् लोकान् न हन्ति न निबध्यते.
The one who has no doership, the one whose mind is not affected, he, even killing these people, does not kill, nor is he bound.
ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं परिज्ञाता त्रिविधा कर्म चोदना करणं कर्म कर्तेति त्रिविधः कर्म संग्रहः.
Knowledge, the thought of corresponding to an object, the object of knowledge, and the knower are the threefold impellers of action. The means of doing, the object of action, and the agent are the threefold constituents of action.
ज्ञानं कर्म च कर्ता च त्रिधैव गुणभेदतः प्रोच्यते गुणसङ्ख्याने यथावच्छृणुतान्यपि.
Knowledge, action, and agent are only threefold according to the differences in guna. It is said in the Shastra dealing with enumeration of the gunas. Listen to those also just as it is unfolded.
सर्वभूतेषु येनैकं भावमव्ययमीक्षते अविभक्तं विभक्तेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि सात्विकम्.
Know that to be sattvika, knowledge by which one knows one changeless existence in all things and beings and the undivided among the divided.
पृथक्त्वेन तु यज्ज्ञानं नानाभावान् पृथग्विधान् वेत्ति सर्वेषु भूतेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि राजसम्.
On the other hand, may you know that knowledge by which one knows distinctly the manifold nature of different kinds of beings as Rajasa.
यत् कृत्स्नवदे कस्मिन् कार्ये सक्तमहैतुकम् अतत्त्वार्थवदल्पं च तत्तामसमुदाहृतम्.
Whereas that knowledge by which one is committed to one object as though it is everything and which is illogical, without truth and very limited, that knowledge is called tamasa.
नियतं सङ्गरहितम् अरागद्वेषतः कृतम् अफलप्रेप्सुना कर्म यत्तत् सात्विकमुच्यते.
That action which is enjoined and which is done without attachment, without being impelled by likes and dislikes by a person, without a binding desire for result is called satvika.
यत्तु कामेप्सुना कर्म साहङ्कारेण वा पुनः क्रियते बहुलायासं तद्राजसमुदाहृतम्.
But that karma which is done by one who has a pronounced desire for the result or again with arrogance and a lot of exertion is called rajasa.
अनुबन्धं क्षयं हिंसाम् अनवेक्ष्य च पौरुषं मोहादारभ्यते कर्म यत्तत्तामसमुच्यते.
That action which is begun not taking into account the natural consequence, loss, injury to others and one's own capacity because of delusion is called tamasa.
मुक्तसङ्गो नहं वादी धृत्युत्साहसमन्वितः सिद्ध्यसिद्ध्योर्निर्विकारः कर्ता सात्विक उच्यते.
The one who is free from attachment, who has no egotism, who is endowed with resolve and enthusiasm and is unperturbed in success and failure is called a satvika doer.
रागी कर्मफलप्रेप्सुः लुब्धो हिंसात्मको शुचिः हर्षशोकान्वितः कर्ता राजसः परिकीर्तितः.
The one who has a predominance of raga and a predominant desire for the result of action, who is greedy, whose nature is to hurt, who is not clean and who is subject to elation and depression is called a rajasa doer.
अयुक्तः प्राकृतस्तब्धः षठो नैष्कृतिको लसः विषादी दीर्घसूत्री च कर्ता तामस उच्यते.
The one who is disturbed, immature, irreverent, deceptive, cruel, lazy, given to sadness and a procrastinator is called a tamasa doer.
बुद्धेर्भेदं धृतेश्चैव गुणतस्त्रिविधं शृणु प्रोच्यमानमशेष्येण पृथक्त्वेन धनञ्जय.
Dhananjaya, please listen to the threefold difference of the mind and of the resolve according to guna that is being told completely and severally.
प्रवृत्तिञ्च निवृत्तिञ्च कार्याकार्ये भयाभये बन्धं मोक्षं च या वेत्ति बुद्धिः सा पार्थ सात्विकी.
The mind which knows the pursuit of karma and renunciation, what is to be done and what is not to be done, what is to be feared and what is not to be feared, and bondage and freedom, that mind partha is satviki.
यया धर्ममधर्मं च कार्यं चाकार्यमेव च अयथावत् प्रजानाति बुद्धिः सा पार्थ राजसी.
That mind with which one wrongly knows what is proper and improper, what is to be done and what is not to be done, partha is rajasi.
अधर्मं धर्ममिति या मन्यते तमसावृता सर्वार्थान् विपरीतांश्च बुद्धिः सा पार्थ तामसी.
The mind which covered with ignorance considers what is improper as proper and all things the reverse of what they are, that mind Partha is tamasi.
धृत्या यया धारयते मनः प्राणेन्द्रियक्रियाः योगेनाव्यभिचारिण्य धृतिः सा पार्थ सात्विकी.
The unflinching resolve with which one sustains by practice the activities of the mind, prana and organs of action and knowledge, that resolve is Satviki Partha.
यया तु धर्मकामार्थान् धृत्या धारयतेऽर्जुन प्रसङ्गेन फलाकाङ्क्षी धृतिः सा पार्थ राजसी.
Whereas the resolve with which the one who has a longing for result as the occasion arises sustains activities for religious merit, pleasure and security, that resolve is Rajasi Partha.
यया स्वप्नं भयं शोकं विषादं मदमेव च न विमुञ्चति दुर्मेधा धृतिः सा पार्थ तामसी.
That resolve by which the one whose thinking is improper does not give up excess sleep, fear, sorrow, depression and intoxication is Tamasi Partha.
सुखं त्विदानीं त्रिविधं शृणु मे भरतर्षभ अभ्यासाद्रमते यत्र दुःखान्तं च निगच्छति यत्तदग्रे विषमिव परिणामे मृतोपमं तत्सुखं सात्विकं प्रोक्तम् आत्मबुद्धिप्रसादजम्.
Listen to me now, Arjuna, the foremost in the clan of Bharata, about the threefold happiness, that in which one discovers joy by repeated practice of meditation and gains the end of sorrow, which in the beginning is like poison and when there is transformation is like nectar. That happiness is called Satvika, born of the clarity of self-knowledge.
विषयेन्द्रियसंयोगात् यत्तदग्रे मृतोपमं परिणामे विषमिव तत्सुखं राजसं स्मृतम्.
That happiness arising from the contact of a sense organ with its object, which in the beginning is like nectar and when it changes is like poison, is considered Rajasa.
यदग्रे चानुबन्धे च सुखं मोहनमात्मनः निद्रालस्य प्रमादोत्थं तत्तामसमुदाहृतम्.
That happiness which in the beginning and at the end is self-deluding and born of sleep, laziness and indifference is called Tamasa.
न तदस्ति पृथिव्यां वा दिवि देवेषु वा पुनः सत्वं प्रकृतिजैर्मुक्तं यदेभिः स्यात् त्रिभिर्गुणैः.
There is no existent being either on the earth or furthermore in heaven among the gods who is free from these three gunas born of Prakriti.
ब्राह्मणक्षत्रियविषां शूद्राणां च परं तप कर्माणि प्रविभक्तानि स्वभावप्रभवैर्गुणैः.
The duties of the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and the Shudras, Arjuna, the scorcher of foes, are divided according to qualities born of Swabhava, Ishvara's Maya, one's nature and one's karma.
शमोदमस्तपः शौचं क्षान्तिरार्जवमेव च ज्ञानं विज्ञानमास्तिक्यं ब्रह्मकर्म स्वभावजम्.
Composure, restraint, religious discipline, inner and external cleanliness, accommodation, rectitude, knowledge, assimilated knowledge, and accepting the veracity of the Vedas are collectively the duties born of nature of a Brahmana.
शौर्यं तेजो धृतिर्दाक्ष्यं युद्धे चाप्यपलायनं दानमीश्वरभावश्च क्षात्रं कर्म स्वभावजम्.
Valor, self-confidence, resolve, adroitness, not running away from conflict, giving, and overlordship are the naturally born duties and disposition of a Kshatriya.
कृषिगौ रक्ष्यमाणिज्यं वैश्यकर्म स्वभावजं परिचर्यात्मकं कर्म शूद्रस्यापि स्वभावजम्.
Agriculture, tending cattle, and commerce are the natural duties of a Vaishya. The natural duty of a Shudra is in the form of service.
स्वे स्वे कर्मण्यभिरतः संसिद्धिं लभते नरः स्वकर्मनिरतः सिद्धिं यथा विन्दति तच्छृणु.
A man who delights in his own duty gains success. Listen to how one devoted to his own duty finds success.
यतः प्रवृत्तिर्भूतानां येन सर्वमिदं ततं स्वकर्मणा तमभ्यर्च्य सिद्धिं विन्दति मानवः.
Through one's duty, worshipping Him from whom is the creation of the beings, by whom all this is pervaded, a human being gains success.
श्रेयान् स्वधर्मो विगुणः परधर्मात् स्वनुष्ठितात् स्वभावनियतं कर्म कुर्वन्नाप्नोति किल्बिषम्.
One's own duty, devoid of merit, is better than the duty of another well done. Doing action enjoined according to one's nature, one does not gain any blemish.
सहजं कर्म कौन्तेय सदोषमपि न त्यजेत् सर्वारम्भा हि दोषेण धूमेनाग्निरिवावृताः.
The karma that is natural according to one's birth, Kaunteya, though defective, one should not give up, because all undertakings are covered with fault like fire is covered with smoke.
असक्तबुद्धिः सर्वत्र जितात्मा विगतस्पृहः नैष्कर्म्यसिद्धिं परमां सन्न्यासेनाधिगच्छति.
The one whose mind is free from attachment everywhere, who has self-mastery and from whom longing has gone, gains the most exalted accomplishment of actionlessness by renunciation.
सिद्धिं प्राप्तो यथा ब्रह्म तथाप्नोति निबोध मे समासेनैव कौन्तेय निष्ठा ज्ञानस्य या परा.
Learn from me in brief, Kaunteya, how the one who has gained the accomplishment of Antakarana Shuddhi gains the ultimate certainty of the knowledge that is Brahman.
बुद्ध्या विशुद्धया युक्तः धृत्यात्मानं नियम्य च शब्दादीन् विषयान् त्यक्त्वा रागद्वेषौ व्युदस्य च विविक्तसेवी लघ्वाशी यतवाक्कायमानसः ध्यानयोगपरो नित्यं वैराग्यं समुपाश्रितः.
The one who endowed with a mind that is very clear, mastering the body, mind, sense complex with a firm resolve, giving up the sense objects such as sound, etc., and giving up likes and dislikes, who lives in a quiet place, who eats lightly, whose speech, body, and mind are mastered, who is always committed to contemplation, who has completely resorted to freedom from longing.
अहङ्कारं बलं दर्पं कामं क्रोधं परिग्रहं विमुच्य निर्ममः शान्तः ब्रह्मभूयाय कल्पते.
Giving up misplaced I sense, power, vainfulness, binding desire, anger, ownership of external things, the one who has no sense of ownership of his own body, etc., and who is tranquil, is fit to gain abidance in the knowledge of Brahman being oneself.
ब्रह्मभूतः प्रसन्नात्मा न शोचति न काङ्क्षति समः सर्वेषु भूतेषु मद्भक्तिं लभते पराम्.
The one who has become Brahman has recognized oneself as Brahman, whose mind is cheerful, does not grieve or long for anything. That person for whom all beings are the same as himself gains the highest devotion to me.
भक्त्या मामभिजानाति यावान्यश्चास्मि तत्त्वतः ततो मां तत्त्वतो ज्ञात्वा विशते तदनन्तरम्.
By bhakti, he knows me properly as to how much I am and who I am in reality. Thereafter, knowing me in reality, he enters me soon after that knowing.
सर्वकर्माण्यपि सदा कुर्वाणो मद्व्यपाश्रयः मत्प्रसादादवाप्नोति शाश्वतं पदमव्ययम्.
The one who is always doing all proper actions, whose basis for all actions and results is myself, gains the end which is eternal and imperishable because of my grace.
चेतसा सर्वकर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्परः बुद्धियोगमुपाश्रित्य मच्चित्तः सततं भव.
Being the one whose only end is myself, mentally renouncing all actions unto me, resorting to a life of karma yoga, may you become one whose mind is always in me.
मच्चित्तः सर्वदुर्गाणि मत्प्रसादात् तरिष्यसि अथ चेत्त्वमहङ्कारात् न श्रोष्यसि विनङ्क्ष्यसि.
Being one whose mind is always in me, you will cross all difficulties because of my grace. If, because of egotism, you do not listen to me, you will perish.
यदहङ्कारमाश्रित्य न योत्स्य इति मन्यसे मिथ्यैष व्यवसायस्ते प्रकृतिस्त्वां नियोक्ष्यति.
Resorting to egotism, you think, I will not fight. This resolve of yours is false. Your disposition will impel you.
स्वभावजेन कौन्तेय निबद्धस्वेन कर्मणा कर्तुं नेच्छसि यन्मोहात् करिष्यस्यवशोऽपि तत्.
Kaunteya, out of delusion, being definitely bound by your own action, which is born of your natural disposition, you will helplessly do just what you do not wish to do.
ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां हृद्देशेऽर्जुन तिष्ठति भ्रामयन् सर्वभूतानि यन्त्रारूढानि मायया.
The Lord remains at the seat of the intellect of all beings, Arjuna, causing all beings to move, revolve by the magic of his Maya, like those figures which are mounted on a machine or made to revolve.
तमेव शरणं गच्छ सर्वभावेन भारत तत्प्रसादात् परां शान्तिं स्थानं प्राप्स्यसि शाश्वतम्.
Surrender to him alone with your whole heart, Bharata. By his grace, you will gain absolute peace, the eternal abode.
इति ते ज्ञानमाख्यातं गुह्यात् गुह्यतरं मया विमृश्यैतदशेष्येण यथेच्छसि तथा कुरु.
Thus, the knowledge that is more secret than any secret was told by me to you. Considering this thoroughly, you may do just as you wish.
सर्वगुह्यतमं भूयः शृणु मे परमं वचः इष्टोऽसि मे दृढमिति ततो वक्ष्यामि ते हितम्.
Again, listen to my ultimate statement, which is the most secret of all. You are definitely beloved to me. Therefore, I will tell you what is good.
मन्मना भव मद्भक्तः मद्याजी मां नमस्कुरु मामे वैष्यसि सत्यन्ते प्रतिजाने प्रियोऽसि मे.
Become one whose mind is offered to me, one whose devotion is to me, one whose worship is to me, whose salutations to me. You will reach me alone. I truly promise you, because you are dear to me.
सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः.
Giving up all karmas, take refuge in me alone. I will release you from all karmas. Do not grieve.
इदं ते न तपस्काय न भक्ताय कदाचन न चाशुश्रूषवे वाच्यं न च मां योऽभ्यसूयति.
This teaching which has been taught to you is never to be taught to the one who has no religious discipline, nor to the one who has no devotion, nor to the one who is not willing to listen, nor to the one who finds fault with me where there is none.
य इमं परमं गुह्यं मद्भक्तेष्वभिधास्यति भक्तिं मयि परां कृत्वा मामे वैष्यत्य संशयः.
The one who teaches this most exalted secret Shastra to my devotees, having the highest devotion for me, will come to me alone. There is no doubt.
न च तस्मान् मनुष्येषु कश्चिन्मे प्रियकृत्तमः भविता न च मे तस्मात् अन्यः प्रियतरो भुवि.
And there is no one other than him who is the best among men who do what is dear to me, and there will not be another dearer to me on the earth than he.
अध्येष्यते च य इमं धर्म्यं संवादमापयोः ज्ञानयज्ञेन तेनाहम् इष्टस्यामिति मे मतिः.
The one who studies or recites this dialogue of ours that is unopposed to dharma, through that ritual in the form of knowledge, I would be worshipped. This is my conclusion.
श्रद्धावाननसूयश्च शृणुयादपि यो नरः सोऽपि मुक्तः शुभान् लोकान् प्राप्नुयात् पुण्यकर्मणाम्.
The person who has trust in this Shastra and who does not find fault with this Shastra, even if he merely listens to this teaching, he also being freed from the body would gain the auspicious words of those who do good karmas.
कच्चिदेतच्छ्रुतं पार्थ त्वयैकाग्रेण चेतसा कच्चिदज्ञानसम्मोहः प्रणष्टस्ते धनञ्जय.
Has this been listened to by you, Partha, with a single pointed mind? Is your delusion that is caused by ignorance destroyed, Dhananjaya?
अर्जुन उवाच नष्टो मोहस्मृतिर्लब्धा त्वत्प्रसादान्मयाच्युत स्थितोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः करिष्ये वचनं तव.
Arjuna said, by your grace, my delusion is gone and I have gained recognition of myself. O Lord Achyuta, I remain as one from whom all doubts have gone. I will do what you say.
संजय उवाच इत्यहं वासुदेवस्य पार्थस्य च महात्मनः संवादमिममश्रौषम् अद्भुतं रोमहर्षणम्.
Sanjaya said, "Thus I have heard this dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna of great mind and heart, which is wonderful and makes one's hair stand on end."
व्यासप्रसादाच्छ्रुतवान् एतत् गुह्यमहं परं योगं योगेश्वरात् कृष्णात् साक्षात् कथयत स्वयम्.
By the grace of Vyasa, I have listened to this secret and ultimate yoga from Krishna, the Lord of Yoga, directly teaching it himself.
राजन् संस्मृत्य संस्मृत्य संवादमिममद्भुतं केशवार्जुनयोः पुण्यं हृष्यामि च मुहुर्मुहुः.
O King, repeatedly recalling this wondrous auspicious dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, I rejoice again and again.
तच्च संस्मृत्य संस्मृत्य रूपमत्यद्भुतं हरेः विस्मयो मे महान् राजन् हृष्यामि च पुनः पुनः.
Further, repeatedly recalling that most wondrous form of the Lord Hari, I have great amazement, O King, and I rejoice again and again.
यत्र योगेश्वरः कृष्णः यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्रीर्विजयो भूतिः ध्रुवा नीतिर्मतिर्मम.
Wherever there is Krishna, the Lord of Yoga, wherever there is Arjuna, the one who bears the bow, there wealth, victory, various riches, and definite justice are present. This is my conclusion.
ॐ तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे मोक्षसंन्यासयोगो नाम 18ोऽध्यायः. श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु.
Om Brahman is the only reality. Thus ends the 18th chapter called Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, having the topic of the freedom and renunciation in the Bhagavad Gita, which is in the form of a dialogue between Shri Krishna and Arjuna, which is the essence of the Upanishads, whose subject matter is both the knowledge of Brahman and Yoga. Om Tat Sat. Shri Krishnarpanamastu.